You may be living above your means and not even realize it. So in this video, I'm gonna go through a few warning signs and what you can do about them so you can get back on track financially. First thing would be that your credit card balance never hits zero. And of course, there's the credit card users who are going into debt further each month, or they're relying on their credit cards and paying a ton in interest, working on paying that down. That is one thing. But there are also people who use their credit cards, and maybe you're not even paying interest on a monthly basis, but you are allowing your balance to grow, and you think that you're winning at this, but you still could have a huge balance. You could have thousands of dollars of credit card debt, not be paying interest on it, but it's keeping you behind. But that is something that, in my opinion, you are living beyond your means, and it may catch up to you and put you in a tough spot. I would call this credit card float. So this is credit card debt that is rolling into the next month. And as I explained, you may not even be paying interest on it, and you pay off the balance that you need to before the statement, but then you keep charging on this card. So then those new charges continue into the next month and into the next month and so on and so forth. And the balance is probably growing. And this means you're probably buying things that you cannot afford at the end of the day. So my suggestion for this situation is to stop using your credit cards until you're able to get to a balance of zero at the end of each month. Second thing, lifestyle creep keeps on sneaking in. So what this would look like is you are getting pay raises annually, or maybe even a couple of times in the year. You're getting a bonus, you could be getting a tax refund, and let's say that you're in a pretty good place overall financially. And of course, we all have to deal with inflation. So sure, there are a lot of things in life that are costing more money. That could be housing, that could be food, childcare, whatever it may be. So that's one thing. But if you are getting these pay raises or extra lump sums of money throughout the year, and things still, like, they just keep feeling tight, it's not getting better with time, then you may be falling to lifestyle creep without even noticing. You could have upgraded your car. You were like, hey, let's go on an extra vacation this year. Or let's upgrade to better seats. I'm gonna buy a bunch of new clothes. Let's go out to eat a few more times in the month. If these things are entering into your life after these pay raises because you feel, you're justifying it because of that, which I think a little bit of lifestyle creep is okay. Of course, if you want to upgrade your life a bit, that's fine, but within reason. But for the most part, you want to try to avoid those bonuses, those raises, just getting absorbed into more spending. You should know that those things are coming up. So my suggestion for you is to commit to saving that money instead. Just act like it doesn't even happen. You don't have to do the whole thing. At least do like 50% of it, or 75% of it is automatically, you're gonna increase your 401k contributions, or you're gonna auto save. So any pay raise that you get, you're still not gonna see it, but it's gonna go to savings, and things will get easier with your finances in that situation. Third thing, you rely on buy now, pay later. This is something that I think is going to become a big problem over the next few years. It already is a big problem. A lot of people don't even consider it as debt, but it is. And that's where we can start to get into dangerous territory, because if you're just seeing it as a manageable way to pay for something that you want, and you keep on doing this, you keep on piling it on, and maybe one thing is on buy now, pay later, and then you're like, oh, another thing, another thing, another thing. And the next thing you know, you owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to Klarna or whatever it may be. So if you are about to purchase something and are not able to pay for it in full, and you need to use Klarna in order to make it more manageable, that is a sign that you cannot afford that purchase right now. So my suggestion for you is to create a wish list, put this in a spreadsheet, put this on your notes app on your phone, or just write it down in a notebook, and you can list out the things that you want to purchase and how much they cost. And then be intentional with your money. Budget, tracking, saving for that purchase. So incorporate it into your budget plan, and you can save up slowly in order to buy that thing in full. And I promise you're going to feel so much better about it anyway. You're going to be like, I purposefully and intentionally saved up for this so that I could purchase it. It's going to feel like a win. You can also create a sinking fund or some sort of account for fun money that you add into it, like guilt-free spending, fun money, shopping, whatever it is that you want to call it. You add to it on a monthly basis, just a little bit of money. Obviously, it may take some time to build, but when it comes to those purchases and you're like, oh, I really want to buy this, it's on sale, or whatever the case may be, you can then pull from that fun spending money. Number 4, you have no cushion between paychecks. Living paycheck to paycheck with a low income is one thing, but living paycheck to paycheck while you make good money probably means that you've stretched your lifestyle a little bit too much. So if your account, your checking account, and even your savings account is getting close to zero and you're like a week away counting down until you get to your next payday, then this is a sign that something could be wrong. So for this situation, I have a couple of suggestions. First thing would be to have a buffer in your checking account. Let's say that you want a buffer of $500. So when you're making your budget and you're adding up all of your expenses and subtracting all of those expenses from your income, make sure about $500 is left over. And of course, having savings is going to help you. So having your emergency fund, a number of sinking funds. I have a number of videos on these. I'll have those linked down below. These are things that may take some time to build up, but they're absolutely worth pursuing. And with the buffer, with the savings, you're probably going to need to cut some things out of your life, at least temporarily, and those sacrifices will be worth it. So being able to get to a point of feeling more comfortable, you get close to payday and you're not even thinking about it because you have enough money to pay for the bills that you need to pay for, it just creates a lot of peace of mind. Number 5, you are skipping savings for spending. If month over month you're not saving, you're not adding to your sinking funds, to your emergency fund, or you're not investing, but you're making room for going out to eat a few times a week, or grabbing drinks with friends, or booking a flight, buying new clothes, buying new shoes, in my opinion, that's a problem because you're prioritizing lifestyle over long-term stability and your future. So my suggestion for this is to flip that. Instead of prioritizing spending or, fitting that into your budget over saving, I want you to prioritize saving, treat it as if it's a bill that you have to pay, and automate it. So whether that be through your paychecks, you get paid and a percentage or a set amount goes directly to your savings account or is directly being put into your 401k or Roth IRA, whatever it may be, I highly suggest doing so because by doing that, you're taking the guesswork out of it and it's out of sight, out of mind. A lot of times people spend money because they see that they have money, but if you separate that from your checking account and it's put to savings, put to investments, then you know that you can't touch it. Number 6, housing eats up too much of your income. A good rule of thumb is that housing should be 30% or less of your take-home pay. If you're paying much more than that, then things are going to be so much harder because you leave little for everything else that you need to pay for. And I know that this is something that isn't too easy to control or too easy to change immediately, depending on location, depending on your situation, how recent it was that you moved into a lease or bought a house. But before you make a big decision, so this is my suggestion for this one, before even making a housing decision, think about it. Think about it, sit on it, sleep on it, whatever you need to do. If you're looking at a house that is going to cost you 40% of your take-home pay, or if you're considering moving into an apartment that's going to cost 50% of your take-home pay, I would suggest you consider otherwise and look for something else because it may be exciting, you may really, really want it, but it is going to make things so much more difficult for you financially. But if you're currently in that situation, I get it. I know it can be tough to make changes immediately, but explore your options and consider different alternatives. So this could be one, exploring downsizing and kind of figuring out the process and doing so. If you're comfortable with renting out a room, that's something you can consider, or just getting a roommate in general, even if it's like a sibling or a parent. And then if you bought a home, and depending on when you bought it, look into refinancing. So hopefully the interest rate is a little bit lower, or if you need to get the PMI adjusted for so you can knock that off of your bill, just find ways that you can cut back on housing costs because it's typically the largest expense for people. Number 7, you are downplaying or even hiding your spending. And that could be hiding it from yourself or from your partner. So if this is like, oh, I'm not gonna plug that into my spending, I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen, or you're not even aware of where your money is going, you're just completely avoiding looking at all of your purchases, all of your accounts, then that is a sign that something is off with your financial situation. So my suggestion for this, and I know this is easier said than done, is to be aware. Have all the awareness around your finances. This is like a big first step. I have a video called You're Going to Change Your Finances in 3 months. Here's how you're going to do it. I'm gonna link that down below. I highly recommend you watch that because I talk about awareness. That's like one of the first big things, and being aware of your assets, your debts, your checking accounts, all these things, being able to log into your accounts and feel confident that you know your numbers, it's pretty significant. So that's one thing. Get over the fear of knowing your numbers. Even if it's ugly to start with, even if you feel anxiety about it, push through that. If you're hiding things from your partner, it is better for that to come out now instead of later, especially if you're not married yet. Start talking about finances as soon as possible in a relationship. That's what I think anyway. It's really important to me. And I'm pretty sure money and finances are one of the largest causes of divorce. So when it's not laid out to begin with, then problems are really sure to come. So for the both of y'all, lay it all out on the table, be transparent about things. And I really recommend weekly dates, or at least monthly. Have monthly money dates so you both are sitting down and talking about finances, or just have it be a regular part of conversation. And then number 8, the final one, you are constantly justifying your purchases. If you catch yourself often saying things like YOLO at the store, or I deserve it, or it's on sale, or I just wanted it so I bought it, then that is you trying to justify your purchases that you know you probably shouldn't be making. You know that the purchases aren't serving you. Now, of course, it's okay for you to do personal spending or buy things that you don't absolutely need, or buy things that don't align with your goals. However, if you are constantly doing this and you're not seeing any progress with your financial situation, then you know that something needs to change. So my suggestion for you is to think before buying. And this could be asking yourself some questions. Do I need this? Does this align with my goals? Can I save for this and buy it later? And based on your answer to those questions, you should be able to make the wisest decision for you and be disciplined about it. And also remind yourself of your goals. Keep them visible if you need to. You know, have it a printout or just written down your financial goals, the things that you want to achieve. Have it by your bed, have it by your desk, somewhere that you're going to see it on a regular basis, and check in on your goals frequently. If you're not on track, you're like, hey, I need to adjust things. And I don't expect anybody to be perfect. I'm not perfect. But the better that you can get at saying no to those purchases that you really want, but you don't need, or they don't actually add value to your life, the better off you're going to be. You're just going to build better financial habits. So there you have it. As you can see, living beyond your means does not have to be anything dramatic. It may not even be obvious. It could just be these little things in life that you didn't even realize that you were doing. So if any of these apply to you, there's no need to panic. You now have awareness of this, and that is a great place to start. And then you can set goals for yourself. You can budget, track your spending, cut back in areas where it doesn't align with the goals that you set, increase your income, all these things. I have a bunch of videos on it, so I will have those linked down below. And also, if you need any help with this or guidance in your financial journey with budgeting, with coming up with a debt payoff plan, a savings plan, I'm a financial coach. So in my description box, I have a link to my website with more information and the different packages that I offer if you are interested. And if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, share it if you want to, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.